When it came to that man, when it came to pen pal, oh baby, it was pen to paper. She would be writing that man like crazy. You've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even have to say anything because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on way. That's on way. That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. Hey y'all, how y'all been? You know how you haven't seen nobody for a long time, like you see a family member or a friend and you just feel like, do I know you? Hey. How y'all doing? But today's story time is going to be about a time a friend stole from me. Before we even get into this video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and answer this question for me. Have y'all ever had a friend that stole from you? And if you haven't, would you still be friends with somebody that stole from you? Would you? Because I did. And I don't even want to say I'm done for this. I think it was just a learning experience. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. Ooh. This wood. Ooh, this is squeezing my finger. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. So y'all already know in order for any of my story times to make sense, I have to give y'all a little backstory. So this happened back when I was in college. I want to say this had to be my sophomore year, but this really started back when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, back when I was in elementary school. So y'all know I got to give y'all the backstory. So back when I was in 3rd grade, y'all, I used to be mad scared, like really, really scared. Like I was a people's pleaser. You could bully me and I would be one of them girls that's like, oh my gosh, like my daddy told me I'm too pretty to fight. Like I would not throw hands with anybody because I was scared. I had never gotten into a fight before. I think I got in my first fight my 3rd grade year, and me and this girl, we don't have any beef now. So hey boo, if you see this video. But at the time, y'all, this girl would literally just hate on me, and I don't know why she would hate on me, but she would literally just hate on me and pick fights with me, and she knew I was scary. So if somebody know you scary, they gonna keep picking on you until you stand up for yourself. So that's when I learned, like, girl, you gotta stand up for yourself. It don't matter if they daddy Mike Tyson, if they 301 pounds, you gotta stick them. So that's what I learned back then when I was in elementary school. I was always that scary girl. I was mad scary, y'all, until one day I told y'all about this story time. If you're not new here, if you're new here, hey girl. But if you're not new here, I'm gonna link the story time below, because I told y'all when I got in my first fist fight back in like the 3rd grade, and the girl had pulled my hair. I had 2 little ponytails in my hair, y'all. She pulled my ponytails out. I ran home to my parents and I was crying, and my auntie was like, we're not having that. Tomorrow you gonna come home with a win, or you gonna get beat 2 times by her and me. So that's when we got in our fight or whatever. And this was the 3rd fight that we got into. Like the girl had pretty much bullied me and beat me up the first 2 times, and then the 3rd time I beat her up. After I beat her up, after that, y'all, she didn't mess with me. She was doing a lot of this, like the mouth would be running, but when it came to throwing them hands, she didn't want to throw hands no more after that. So instead of her throwing hands at me and my brother were 2 years apart. We used to ride the same bus together, and the girl, let's go ahead and name her Bully, because she was my bully at this time. Bully had a brother that was also in the same grade as my brother. So my brother was in 5th grade, I was in 3rd grade. Me and Bully was in 3rd grade together, and we all rode the same bus, y'all. After I beat her up, she would be talking all of this mess or whatever, but she knew not to put them hands on me, because your girl, I gave it to her that last time, y'all. And then she started this rumor and told her older brother, we're not gonna give him a name, we just gonna call him, let's give him a name. We're gonna call him Pen Pal. It's gonna make sense later, Pen Pal. So she told her brother, Bully told her brother Pen Pal, that Asia's brother, my brother name is Paris. She told her brother that my brother put his hands on her. I don't know, like, why would my brother didn't even hit me, so why would you think my brother would put his hands on you? But anyway, y'all, she told her brother that. It got back to her brother or whatever, because she started this big rumor, and they literally got in a fight at school. It was so bad, my mom had to come out. The principal actually had to break up the fight. They was like, they weren't letting go. Like my brother wanted to unalive him. My brother was beating the crap out of him, and my brother didn't even know why he was getting in the fight. Pen Pal was like, I heard you put your hands on my sister. He ran up on my brother. They fought. It was a big fight. They got expelled. It was a whole lot going on. Fast forward to my sophomore year in college now, y'all. I'm friends with this girl, and I do not remember what I named her in a previous story time, but we're gonna go ahead and give her I don't remember what I named her, y'all. Let's just call her let's call her Paper. Let's call her Paper. So me and Paper, we became friends, and we are all from the same place. At this time, I'm in college, and she was like a mutual friend of another friend, and then me and her just end up, you know, we just end up locking in. We became closer than the mutual friend that introduced us. So around this time, if you're not new here, y'all remember Miami. I told y'all I would never date another man from Miami just because the experiences that I had with this man. And I don't recall what I named him, but we're gonna say Spaghetti Boy. Y'all remember the infamous story time about the pasta? I called the police on him. We got into this big altercation over the pasta. That's the guy that I was dating at this time. I was dating him my sophomore year, and my new friend Paper, she was dating Pen Pal. Pen Pal is who? My bully from like the 3rd grade's brother or whatever. I'm a grown woman at this time. I don't have any grudges. I don't dislike the boy or whatever, but we just never seen eye to eye just because me and his sister, we had drama going on, and then my brother and him, they never got along. So now that he's dating my friend, mind you, this is a really close friend of mine. I'm always at her house. She's always at my house. Like, this is my girl. If y'all recall in a previous story time, I told y'all I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and we didn't have money like that in college. We were regular broke college students, and if she needed food and stuff, I would give her food. If I needed food and she cooked, she would get me food. Like, we were close friends. We were struggle friends, y'all. We went through the struggle together. And Pen Pal was her man. But anytime I would come over my girl's house, when Pen Pal was there, he would always give me attitude like, what Asia doing here? Like, why Asia over here or whatever? Like, I told my friend about the whole drama that happened when we were kids, but it never bothered me. Like, I would just throw little jabs back at him and be like, you ugly. Like, you, like, just little stuff, y'all. It was no real beef or whatever. It was just like me throwing jabs at him because he was throwing jabs at me. He would always be like, dang, why you here? When you leaving? Like, when you leaving or whatever. Fast forward to one day, I'm at her house and her man is there. Pen Pal is there, and he was just like, Asia, go home. Like, what you doing here? And I'm just like, boy, shut up. Like, you only eating dinner because of me. Like, I would bring them like food, y'all, because at the time I was working at Chick-fil-A, and your girl used to get EBT, so I would be bringing them food and stuff over, and I'm just like, you don't got no job. Like, you eating dinner tonight for me. Say thank you. Don't tell me to shut up. I'm chilling with my girl. Like, you go somewhere. And a lot of times when I would go over my girl house, he would leave, y'all, because when I say me and Paper, we were like this. When I get over there, we would just be talking all night, y'all. So this particular day, he was real like aggravated with me. Like, I don't know, y'all, he was just real aggravated with me. He was aggravated with my friend. They was going through their drama. Like, boy, please don't do that. Like, your stomach full tonight because of me. Call me the menu because I'm bringing dinner over. But anyway, y'all, I brought the food, and I would do this probably like 2 times a month. This was like nothing new or whatever, and we would just be throwing little shots at each other. It was nothing crazy, y'all. But this particular day, Pen Pal was going in on me. He was saying I ain't had no edges. He was talking about your girl bad. Asia, you need to go home. Like, he kept saying it, and I'm just looking at him like, do you pay rent here? Like, you don't have no say. Pay a bill. Because my friend my friend Paper will always be telling me that she was paying all the bills by herself. So anytime he was throwing shots at me and I needed to go below the belt, baby, I'm gonna take you there. So I would be like, shut up, pay a bill, put groceries in the house. So I would be just throwing little shots at him, y'all, and he would just be talking about things that's growing. Like, don't talk about my edges because they're there. Don't talk about my booty because it's there. Like, don't talk about anything appearance. You know, when somebody has to talk about your appearance, it's not valid. Like, you just saying anything. You don't got nothing on me. Got to the point where it was kind of awkward, and she didn't tell me to go home, but my girl, my friend, she weren't really talking to me, and we would talk about her man and her problems and my problems in secrecy all the time. But this particular day, she wasn't telling him. Like, usually she'll be like, go on, Pen Pal, like, go on, but she wasn't saying that this day. So I think I end up eating dinner over there with them, and then shortly after that, y'all, I end up leaving. Typically, I would be over there so long that he would go ahead and bounce and then come back like the next day, or he would just be out late running the streets, y'all. But this particular day, I don't know if I said something that rubbed her the wrong way because we never talked about it, but she wasn't happy about the stuff that I was saying about her man, y'all. So after I ate my food, I left. Fast forward a few weeks later, Pen Pal, he ended up getting locked up, and y'all, prior to him getting locked up, him and my friend, when I say they was going at it, they was arguing non-stop, like literally arguing non-stop. So when he got locked up, I wasn't trying to tell her it was a good thing, because like I said, my girl was crying. She was going through a lot at this time. So I wasn't saying like, yay, I'm happy this man locked up. I'm not praying on nobody's downfall. But at the same time, when he not in jail, like when he not in the penitentiary, he not doing nothing for you. Like, your life is not getting better. He not adding to your life. He's not contributing. Like, he's a bill. Like, he's literally a bill. Like, he's just an extra mouth to feed. So I wasn't trying to say like, yay, he in jail, but I would just be like, it's okay, girl, life gonna get better. Like, God got better plans for you. Like, God took care of you. Like, I would be saying stuff like that, y'all. But my girl was sad. She would be crying day in and day out, checking if he got a bond, and he was in jail for possession, driving without a license, and like a few other things he went to jail for, y'all. So during this time while he's in jail, I'm at her house more, we hanging out more. She was definitely one of them type of friends. That's why the friendship wasn't gonna work anyway, because the friendship was very one-sided, y'all. When her man was in jail, and that's why we calling him pen pal, because this was a regular occasion. Like, it wasn't like he went to jail one time too. No, this man would be in and out of jail like 4 or 5 times a year. Like, he would go to jail, and then somebody would bond him out, and then he would be back out, and then they'll pick him up again, go to jail. Like, y'all, jail was his man's second home. Like, I'm sure he had a room with his name on it. Like, it didn't say cell number, it said pen pal, because he loved jail. Like, you would think he had something going on in jail, because he would, y'all, that man frequent jail more than jail freaking jail. Like, he was always in jail. Like, he was just always in jail. So this was one of the longest stretches that he was in jail, because typically, like I said, when he was in jail, I'm like feeding her head like, girl, it's gonna be okay. She was like, no, he gonna get out, he gonna have bond. But this time he didn't have bond, y'all, and he didn't have bond for a while. Like, I think he had to wait to his trial, which was like over a month out. So me and my girl hanging out a lot. And I know y'all probably thinking like, Asia, didn't you have a man? Yeah, I had a man, but like I said, y'all, Miami Spaghetti, he was very nonchalant. Like, we would not hang out like that. Like, literally, this man lived right around the block from me, and I probably would see him like 3 days a week. That should have been a red flag that the relationship is not gonna work, because I already told y'all, when I have a man, a ninja, home is in his balls. Like, I'm under my man all the time. That's what type of girlfriend I am. I'm the clingy girlfriend. I'm the on the phone after you just left the house. Like, that's me. I'm that type of girlfriend. So the fact that I wasn't crazy over him like that, that should have gave me all the flags. Like, Asia, this not gonna be your husband. You're not really feeling him like that, because you're not on his body. Like, if you're not on his body, then it's not gonna be your man. But y'all, nonetheless, I'm just with my girl. I'm with her. I'm trying to make her feel better about the situation. And anytime she would get a call from pen pal, y'all, she would answer that phone, and the phone calls wouldn't be long. It would be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And anytime he was on the phone, y'all, he was honestly just dry begging in whatever money, because I said we were college students. We did not have money like that. But whatever little money she did have, she would put it on his books. She would get him snacks, boxers. She would, y'all, when I say you would think my friend was an author, like 20, 30 pages. Me and her used to do homework together, and I ain't never seen her write that much for literature. Like, we had a, what is it called? African American studies class together. You didn't write that much on our papers that we had together. We also had, I think, what's that other class we had? I forgot, y'all. We had multiple classes together, and I never seen her put that much work into anything. But when it came to that man, when it came to pen pal, oh baby, it was pen to paper. She would be writing that man like crazy. Nonetheless, y'all, he would do what he could do for her. I remember, I think he was in jail for like a week around this time. He had his sister, don't know what sister it was, but he had his sister send his EBT card to my friend, paper, and it was a lot of money. It was like $400, $500. I don't know how many kids she had, y'all, but she had a lot of EBT. She sent the card to us via mail, and paper called me. It was like, Aisha, girl, you always look out for me. Let's go shopping or whatever. We went to Walmart, and y'all, when I say I had so much food, like, it was ridiculous. I remember I was buying food for my roommates, the one I didn't like. I was buying food for y'all, I actually bought food for Miami. I was buying food for my boy. I was buying food for everybody, because that's how much food we had. Like, even when we gave her back the card, we still probably had like $50, $60 on the card. That's how much food it was. So, you know, he was doing what he could do, y'all. Fast forward to, I don't really recall how long he was in there, but I know it had to be like no less than like 2 months, y'all. He ends up getting out. And when he get out, my friend does not tell me that he got out though. But I knew that he got out only because she went missing. Like I said, for 2 months, pretty much every day, we were literally always together, always at her house. Like, that was my girl. And then all of a sudden, you go missing. Like, I'm calling your phone, you can barely answer the phone, or she wouldn't answer the phone. She'll just text me and be like, hey, what's up? And I'll be like, nothing, I was just about to come over there. And she'll be like, oh, I'm not feeling good, or oh, I have something to study for. Like, she was basically just acting like mad and different or whatever. But y'all, I had already peeped, baby. I had already peeped that he was out of jail, but she didn't tell me he was out of jail because I was on campus. Like I told y'all, I used to work at Chick-fil-A at this time. And I seen him, he came up to the Chick-fil-A, but he wasn't ordering, his homeboy was ordering, and I seen him like in the cut, but he didn't know that I seen him. Because when I seen him, I looked away real quick, so when he seen me, he was like nowhere to be found. So I already peeped that he was out, but I'm like, all right, I know he been out for like 3 days now because I ain't heard from you, but I wasn't gonna say anything because she obviously didn't want me to know that the man was out. Fast forward to, we did hang out, y'all. We were hanging out, but it wasn't like we used to. We were like hanging out on campus because, like I said, we had 2 classes together, and then I worked at Chick-fil-A, so she would come by my job a lot, but we weren't hanging out really outside of like school or whatever. Or she would come to my house, but she wouldn't let me come to her house because that bed bug was there. Pen pal was there. So one day we was on the phone and I heard him in the background, and I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I wanted to be petty. I just wanted to see what she was gonna say. I'm like, who was that? A man that loved applesauce? Like, who was that? A man that loved the penitentiary? Like, who was that in the background? And she was just like, what? You ain't hear nothing? That's the CB? I'm like, girl, I already know he out. I seen him last week at my job. And she's like, oh, I ain't want to say nothing because I knew you was going to say all this. You was going to be talking. I was just like, no, like, you don't have to be big ups for me. Like, I knew y'all was like working it out, because she was saying she was doing little stuff for him just because he was doing for her. But she was saying that she was going to move on with her life. Like, the only thing this man can provide to you is promises, because you know, as soon as they hit the penitentiary, oh, I'm finna do this, I'm gonna do right. But when you out, you're not doing right. Like, all it is false promises. So yeah, she was basically like, oh no, I was gonna tell you, but I already knew how you was gonna act. And I said, girl, that's you. If you like them promises and letters, that's all he can offer is promises and letters. If you like that, I love it. Like, that's on you. And she was like, well, fine, now that you know he out, we having a game night tomorrow. Like, come over here, we having a game night. So I'm like, I'm real lit, y'all, because she lived, where did she live at? I cannot think of the name of her apartment complex, but if you live in Tallahassee, it's this apartment complex right by FSU, and it's off of damn, I cannot remember that name, y'all. Lived in a lit apartment complex, and all of the football players that went to FSU and FAMU, they lived in this complex. And her roommate was on, what team was she on? I don't know what she did. I think she did track, and she played another sport, and she knew a lot of people, so I already knew everybody was gonna be there. And y'all probably like, Asia, I thought you had a man. Girl, I told y'all the relationship was up and down. 1 week we was on, 1 week we was off. So that's probably why I was hot. We was probably off this beat, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I pulled up to her house that night, and like I knew, everybody was there. The ninjas was outside, the girls was outside, the party was lit. It was just a whole lot going on. I was a lot of people. So I'm there. They even had hookah there, y'all. I'm there. We smoking hookah, we vibing, they got music. Me and her roommate is cool, so we making little Snapchats and stuff. And y'all, it's just a good night. Like, we chilling. Fast forward to, like, I want to say I left mad late. It was either like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. When I left, I wasn't under the influence, y'all, but I was just really, really tired. Like, I just left like mad tired. When I got home to my house, well, it was the next day. The next day, y'all, when I got home, I realized that I left my wallet over there, and I didn't have a lot of money in my wallet, but I know for a fact that I had like $100 in my wallet. So, you know, that's my girl. I call her. I'm like, hey, paper, have you seen my wallet? Because like, I lost my wallet. I didn't have my wallet. It's not in my car. The only place I was there was at your place. Like, have you seen my wallet? She was like, oh, I haven't got up yet, and when I clean up, I'll let you know if I seen it. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. Fast forward to later on in the afternoon, y'all. I keep texting her, I keep calling her. She doing that thing she does when she's with pen paper. I mean, not pen paper. When she's with pen pal, she don't be answering her phone. Like, I'll call her, she'll let the phone ring, and then she'll text me real quick and be like, hey, what's up? So she did that, and I'm just like, what's up? Is my wallet there? Did you find my wallet? She was just like, no, I ain't find your wallet yet. I'll let you know if I find it. To be honest, like, I'm effed up. Like, I'm hungover. I haven't even got up and cleaned my apartment yet. I'm like, all right, cool. When you find my wallet, let me know, y'all, because I knew my wallet was there. Like, if she would have told me my wallet was not there, I would have called her a liar, because I went from your place to my house. Who sold it? Jesus, like who sold it? Because I wasn't around nobody else. Like, I know my wallet was there. So fast forward, y'all, later on that night, she ends up texting me, and she was just like, hey, Pen Pal, he ended up finding your wallet. You left it in the couch. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come over there and get it. I go over there to get it. Mind you, y'all, me and my girlfriend, Paper, we lived like maybe not even 15 minutes, maybe like 12 minutes from each other. I lived off of Blueford at this time. We lived back close to each other. We both lived by FSC Stadium. So I go to her house, y'all, and when I get there, the house door is open, which I'm not gonna say it's not like her, because like I said, she had a busybody roommate, so her roommate would be in and out. And then Pen Pal, he would smoke, so he would be going in and out. Sometimes he would leave the door open. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't unlike them, but at the time I was just like, what the hell, like, why is the door open? When I get in there, Paper is going off and cussing, and she kind of just looked, I don't know, y'all, she didn't look like herself. Like, she looked like she had been stressing all night, like they had been fighting or whatever, which I knew they was, because like I said, y'all, their relationship was mad toxic. So I'm like, what's wrong with you? She's like, yo, wallet at the table. I'm like, no, what's wrong with you? And she's just like, Pen Pal, he's so nasty. He's so nasty. The girl told me that she bond him out. The girl bond him out. And I'm like, who is the girl? She shows me the girl. I don't know the girl personally, y'all, but I'm from Ocala. If y'all know, Ocala is a very small place. It was some girl from Ocala. The girl looked familiar. Like, I've seen the girl before, but I didn't personally know the girl. So I'm like, the girl bond him out. And he said that he just got out. Like, what? Like, he told her that he had just got out, but some girl bond him out, and she seen the receipts. The girl sent her all this stuff, so they was arguing over the fact that the girl bond him out. Her and the girl had had a long conversation, so she's mad at him, cussed him out. Basically, they got into an argument, y'all. So I'm just like, damn, like, that's crazy. Like, I'm thinking they working on their relationship, because he's telling her, oh, I'm gonna marry you. Y'all, the typical lies and deceit. He's just telling her all this crazy stuff he gonna do, and as soon as he get out, no job, no paper. Like, let's be for real, I ain't never talked to a man that was in jail before, but you couldn't get me to believe any of them lies. If your name was lie, like, I wouldn't believe it. Like, you couldn't get me to believe none of that or whatever. So she's crying and reading the receipts and everything. I'm being nosy, so I'm reading the receipts too, and I'm just like, kind of just like, damn, but not really saying much, y'all, just because, like, what is there to say? Like, they also had like an on and off type of relationship, and then I can't say nothing because, like I said, me in Miami, we was mad toxic too. The whole time while me and her talking or whatever, Pen Pal, he's going like in and out the house, like he's listening. Like, I can see him walking from outside to the, like, what are you looking for? You got the lighter? Like, I don't know, y'all, he was fake trying to listen to what we was talking about. So I slammed the door or whatever. He opens the door and it's like, don't slam no door, you can go home. And I'm like, you don't pay rent here. My friend lives here. My friend pays rent here. When you pay her bill, then you can tell me to leave. So me and him are getting into it, and I'm just like, bro, go, like, go, like, go back to jail, like, go back, because, like, you annoying. And he will always be like, I'm bona fide, I'm bona fide, I'm bona fide. You want to put her with, like, I never tried to put her on with anybody, but obviously anytime we together, if somebody's trying to talk to me, obviously he gonna see her and my friend look good, so he will always think that I'm just trying to put her on to other people. I'm not the type of person. If you in a relationship, I'm gonna respect that. I'm not ever gonna try to put my friend on with somebody if I know that you in a relationship. But with you, like I said, y'all, he was a pen pal. It wasn't giving man, it was giving pen pal. Like, half of the relationship was just letters, because he was always in and out of the system, y'all. So me and him going back and forth. He's just walking like, oh, I'm bona fide, I'm bona fide. Get your wallet right here. Get your stuff. Go. Like, I'm bona fide, I'm bona fide, all right, you bona fide, go stay out of jail. Let's try that. Like, stay out of jail. So they arguing, y'all. I end up shutting the door, and I lock the door. He keeps beating on the door. My friend, she's at this point, you know how, like, you be real mad, and then after it finally hits you, it's just like, I'm over it. I don't have any more emotions to give. That's what point she was at. Like, she was just not crying, not yelling, but she was just, I don't know, she was just talking real soft and just real stern. Like, this is the last time, basically, what she was telling me. And y'all know how it is when you want a toxic relationship, or you have a friend that's in a toxic relationship. it's a broken record. They say this every time, and then in the morning they catch amnesia. Like, I was just like, okay, girl. Eventually I did leave. I was honestly been ready to go because I'm bona fide, he walking back, I'm bona fide. Sir, please. Like, he kept saying that the whole time, y'all, and I wanted to go, but I'm a Taurus. I'm mad petty. So if you telling me to leave, I'm gonna stay. And when I'm about to leave, if I hear leave, oh, I'm gonna stay an additional 25 minutes. So that's what it was. Like, as soon as I'm about to leave, I hear you come back inside. Bona fide, bona. You can leave. You can leave. You mad? Oh, okay. I'm gonna stay. So y'all, I ended up staying there for like 2 hours when I was being ready to go after the first 30 minutes because it was hot. He had left the door open. It was hot as hell in there. So I was been ready to go. So I finally leave. I grab my wallet. That's that. Of course, I check on my friend the next day. She says that he left or whatever, and you know, y'all already know how it be. So I'm not gonna fill y'all in on everything that was said, but just know it's just a whole bunch of her just releasing her feelings and how she's done this time and how she got the receipts and blah 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 blah. And then while we on the phone, I tell her, I said, girl, my money is missing out of my wallet. I know for a fact I had a $100 bill in my wallet and my money's not there. She said, what? I said, yes, my money is missing out of my wallet. So she was just like, oh, wow, he probably stole your money. And I'm like, he stole my money. You need to get my money back if he's still there. She's like, girl, I said he left. He's gone. So I'm like, all right. Like, that's crazy. At this time, y'all, I had a Snapchat and I had some of his family members and cousins on Snapchat. So I couldn't do nothing about it. So I just started throwing little subliminals, like, you know, just being real petty. This is in my petty days, y'all. Now I would never. But then I was being petty, y'all. So I'm just talking about him saying like, wow, you needed $425. Like, you supposed to be selling bags. And y'all, he was a street guy and he was a D dealer. So it's just like, but you needed $100. So I'm throwing little, I don't recall what I was saying, y'all, but I was just throwing little subliminals on Snapchat because it's just like, that's crazy that you sold my $100. You've been out of jail for 2 weeks. You couldn't come up with 250s. You couldn't come up with no money. Like, that's crazy. Fast forward to after that, they got back together. It wasn't even a shocker, y'all. They break up, get back together, break up, get back together. Like, it was a whole cycle. Like it was a reoccurring theme, y'all. I was not surprised at all. When they got back together, this time I would come over there, but I wouldn't come over there if he was there. Like, when he got there, I would be ready to leave because, like I said, after that argument, he was saying a whole bunch of foul stuff, and he also was saying stuff about me that my friend told him, which at the time I didn't really care because it's just like, oh, you just saying anything to make me mad. But thinking back, I only told you this stuff, so I know that you had to tell him this stuff, and I didn't take it personal because everything I told her, I could say it right back to her. Like, you can say whatever you want to say about Miami, but I can also say it back to you. Like, he loved jail food. Like, I didn't really hear y'all, but at the time, thinking back, y'all, it was wrong. But at the time, I didn't really like internalize it and actually like think about like, wow, how you know this and this and that. She must have told you this. I ain't really take it like that, y'all. I don't know when they got back together because, like I said, once I tell you not to go back and give you all my advice and I'm talking to you and I'm telling you stuff and you don't listen, girl, don't tell me nothing else. So she didn't tell me anything when they got back together. It would just be like, he would call her and then she would start talking in that voice, whispering, thank you, baby, thank you. Like, y'all, at one point, my friends when they get back with a guy, they'll lie to me. Like, I think all of my friends have done this before. Like, if they talk to somebody that's not good for them, they'll be like, oh, Asia, I'm talking to a new guy, or they'll tell me they're talking to somebody else, and then when everything hit the fan, they'll be like, oh, Asia, you know, when I told you that I was talking to him, I was really talking to old boy. And I'm just like, wow, I really thought you moved on. I really thought you had sense. Like, I really thought you did. So, y'all, this was one of those situations where she was, you know, I knew that they was talking back to each other, but she didn't tell me. Like, when she would want to tell me stuff, she just wouldn't tell me because my face gonna be like this. Oh, okay. He got you lunch? Oh, okay. And then I was still mad about my $100, so I didn't have anything to say to him, y'all. Like, I'm never gonna forgive you for stealing my last $100. Y'all know $100 then was like $1,000. I was broke. I was in college, so I was real mad about them $100. But anyway, y'all, fast forward. She's on the phone with him, and I guess he's about to come over there, and she was just like, girl, you have to get ready to go because my man coming up and you're gonna have to go. And I'm like, all right. Like, I can go. Nobody want to be over here or around him because you stole my money. Like, I don't want to be around him. My bad, y'all. My camera ended up dying, but where was I? Oh, okay. Usually I would be gone by the time he gets there, but this time as I'm leaving out, he's coming in. Like, okay, so she stayed in an apartment complex and there was a car garage. All the guests had to park on, I think it was like the 4th floor and like in the corners, but there was no parking. So I parked up on the 4th floor, y'all. So as I'm like going up, I see his car going in. Like, I'm walking to the car garage, y'all, and it's not connected to her building. It's like the next building, like over from her building. So I'm leaving and I'm walking and his car passes me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say something because I haven't seen you since you stole my money. So I'm gonna say something. I don't care what she say, I'm gonna say something. So I was coming down or whatever, and I was praying on a little star that I seen him. I was hoping that, I don't know, I was just hoping that I seen him, y'all. And lo and behold, as I'm walking up the freaking thing, there was no elevator. These weren't those type of apartments, y'all. I'm walking up the thing to my car and he shut his car door. So I walked down just a little bit further, even though I had passed my car and all. So I'm like, what's up with my money? When you gonna get my money? He said, man, what? I said, yeah. You didn't think she was gonna tell me that you took my money out my wallet? Yeah. You took my money out my wallet. Where's my money? And he was like, man, what? She told you I took your money. I ain't take that $100. She took that $100. And I said, what? He said, yeah, get out my face for that. She took that $100. And y'all, I know she took it because I said, are you gonna give me my money? I never said the amount of money. I was going to, but I didn't say it. So how he knew that it was $100? So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna play it cool. I'm gonna play it cool. So he said that, and immediately, y'all, I was gonna call her, which I did call her, but I hung the phone up real quick because it's just like, that's fake as hell. Like, if you needed $100, I wouldn't have gave you the whole $100, but I could at least let you hold 25, and we could have figured out how to get the other 75. Like, why would you take my money and then you blamed it on him? You blamed it on him because you thought he wasn't gonna get out. Anyway, y'all, fast forward to that, I started acting funny. I'm mad about the money. Of course, looking back, older me would just go ahead and confront her and just cut her off, because I obviously feel like if you stole money from me, what else would you do? Like, you're not trustworthy as a friend. But I was young, y'all. At this time, I probably was like, how old was I? 22, 23. Didn't really know how to handle conflict the best way. So instead, I started acting mad funny. Like, in class, I changed my seat and everything. I changed my seat, ain't say anything to her. She would be calling my phone like, why you acting funny? Why you acting weird? And what happened? I think one day I randomly told her about the money or whatever. I said, yeah, pen pal, he told me that you took my $100. And he was just like, what? He told you that? I only took it because I needed it to pay my light bill. I needed it to pay my... I said, you could have at least asked for the money. We talked about the whole thing, y'all. We hashed it out, and that was pretty much it. I obviously would not be somebody's friend now that stole from me, but that was a story time on how I ended up like falling out with, well, we fell out for what? It was like a week, y'all. We fell out for like a week. But I'm gonna link that story time down below if y'all wanna know why we ultimately fell out a year later after the situation. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story time. And let me know if you would be friends with somebody that stole from you. Now, I would never, but at that time I really felt bad because she really sugared it up like, oh my gosh, I was struggling, I was going through this, I was going through that, I didn't have this. And it's just like, bruh, you could have told me. You could have told me. Like, we've been going through the struggle together. Like, you could have told me. And if I had it, I would have gave it to you. And I didn't really have it like that, y'all, at the time. So that's why I was mad. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all at my next one. Peace.